Imagine a darkness so profound it doesn't just block sight, it consumes it. Now, imagine within that darkness a heat that can melt the sky. We are taught to fear the shadows, the monsters lurking in the cold, misty voids of hell. But in the grand design of the Norse cosmos, the ultimate ending doesn't come from the cold. It comes from the south. It comes from the fire. And there, standing at the burning frontier of Muspelheim, has stood a single guardian since the dawn of time. He does not sleep. He does not grow tired. He patiently waits, his body as black as charred wood, holding a blade that shines brighter than the sun itself. His name is Surtr. He is not a villain of circumstance. He is the inevitable apocalypse given form. By the time this story ends, everything you know from the roots of the world tree to the high golden halls of Asgard will be reduced to ashes by his hand. You are listening to Legends from the Dark Myth. Today, we confront the Black One at the end of worlds. Before there was Odin, before there was Thor, even before the great world tree Yggdrasil stretched its branches, there were only two realms. To the north was Niflheim, a world of ice, mist, and absolute zero. To the south was Muspelheim. Muspelheim was not merely hot. It was a chaotic sea of primordial fire, a place of blinding light and white-hot intensity that no creature, not native to it, could survive. It was the raw matter of energy itself, and from the very first spark of existence, Surtr has stood at its border. His name translates to the Black One, or the Swarthy One, likely a description of his massive, soot-stained body, which must appear as a black silhouette against the unending furnace of his home. But his most defining feature is his weapon. The legends describe it as a flaming sword, but that seems too simple. This is the first weapon of the universe, a blade forged from the pure, unbridled heat of Muspelheim. It doesn't just burn, it shines with a terrifying brilliance, said to be more luminous than the sun itself. It is a beacon of finality. For eons, while the gods built their shining cities and humans populated Midgard, Surtr has remained stationary. He is a force of nature rather than a political player. He guards the realm of fire, preventing any from entering, but also, and more importantly, preventing his kin, the chaotic fire giants known as Muspel's sons, from unleashing their destruction upon the cosmos too soon. He is the jailer of the apocalypse, waiting for the key of destiny to turn the lock. The gods know he is there. Odin, who sought all knowledge, certainly knew of Surtr. He knew that this silent guardian would eventually become his executioner's executioner, the one who would finish the job that prophecy had written for him. And yet, there was nothing Odin, or all the armies of Asgard, could do to stop him. You cannot kill the fire of creation. The time of silence ends with a sound that rips the sky. When the events of Ragnarok begin, when the great wolf Fenrir breaks his chains, when the Midgard serpent rises from the sea, and when Loki leads the army of the dead, the final sign is given. The white god Heimdallr, guardian of the gods' bridge, raises the Gjallarhorn and blows a blast so powerful it echoes through all 9 realms. This is the signal Surtr has been waiting for. For the first time since the beginning, Surtr turns his back on Muspelheim and leads his people northward. The earth cracks open beneath the heat of their march. The sky, already turning gray from the smoke of battle, is now ripped apart by a scorching heat wave. The sons of Muspel, a vast horde of armored, burning entities, ride behind their king, their movement like a river of lava. Their first obstacle is the Bifröst, the rainbow bridge that connects Midgard to Asgard, the only path to the citadel of the gods. But as Surtr and his army step onto its ethereal surface, the magical bridge cannot sustain their nature. The Bifröst, this delicate fusion of magic, rain, and light, shatters into millions of crystallized fragments under the raw, chaotic heat of the fire giants. The gods in Asgard watch as their link to the other worlds collapses in a cascade of colors. Their fate is now sealed within their own walls. They cannot retreat. They can only stand and fight. Surtr doesn't just arrive at the battle. He brings the environment of the end with him. His presence melts the glaciers, boils the seas, and burns the very air. He rides forward to the plain of Vigritr, the final battlefield, where the final lines are drawn between order and chaos. On the plain of Vigritr, the apocalypse unfolds in a series of horrific duels. Thor faces the Midgard serpent. Odin confronts Fenrir. And in the heart of this chaos, Surtr finds his destined opponent, the god Freyr. Freyr is a beloved Vanir god of fertility, sunshine, and fair weather. He represents life, growth, and the hope of spring. There could be no greater symbolic clash: life versus finality, growth versus total consumption. But Freyr enters this battle with a fatal handicap. Once, Freyr possessed a magical sword that could fight on its own, a blade that could have matched the brilliance of Surtr's own weapon. But in a moment of passionate love, Freyr gave his sword to his servant Skirnir to win the hand of the beautiful giantess Gurthur. He bartered his survival for his happiness. Now, on the day of reckoning, he faces the Lord of Muspelheim, holding only a stag's horn. The duel is short and brutal. Freyr fights with bravery, striking out with his unconventional weapon. But a stag's horn is nothing against the sword that is brighter than the sun. The Black One cleaves through Freyr's defenses. Life is extinguished by the primordial fire. Freyr falls, the first major god to perish on the field, his death marking the moment that hope itself begins to bleed out. But Surtr's role is not finished with the death of one god. His purpose is not to win a battle. It is to clean the slate. As the other great gods fall one by one, as Odin is swallowed, as Thor dies from poison, the world itself begins to succumb. The earth sinks into the boiling sea. The stars vanish from the smoky sky. The only thing that remains is Surtr and his sword. In the final, awful act of Ragnarok, Surtr raises his flaming sword one last time. He releases all the heat of Muspelheim that he has guarded for eons. He flings fire over the entire world. All 9 realms, Asgard, Midgard, Jotunheim, everything are engulfed in a single, colossal conflagration. It is the purification and the ending. Every palace, every person, every memory is reduced to ash, sinking into the dark and boiling waters. Surtr, the Black One, has fulfilled his destiny. He has burned the world so it could be clean. The story of Surtr is often treated as a nightmare of destruction, a warning of the fire that lies in wait. But the Norse did not see the cosmos as a straight line ending in death. They saw it as a wheel. The flames of Surtr are not just a punishment, they are a necessary reset. Without his world fire, the old, corrupt, and decaying world of the Aesir could never pass away. His heat, the same heat that formed the initial sparks of life, is needed to purge the old to make room for the new. Prophecy says that after Surtr's fire is slaked, a new earth will rise again from the waters, fresh, green, and fertile. New gods, the sons of Thor and Odin, will find the golden gaming pieces of their fathers in the grass. 2 humans who hid in the roots of Yggdrasil will emerge to repopulate the world. The cycle will begin again. Surtr is the vital agent of this transformation. He is the guardian of the threshold, the swarthy, silent giant who stands at the beginning and the end, proving that even in the darkest myth, the hottest fire is not the enemy of life, it is its crucible. Thank you for listening to this episode of Legends from the Dark Myth. If you found yourself captivated by the story of Surtr, be sure to explore the rest of our series on Norse mythology, where we confront the wolves, the serpents, and the twilight of the gods. And remember, sometimes the darkness isn't the only thing to fear. Sometimes the threat is the light. Until next time.